everyone. Welcome to the Food Future Podcast, where we share stories of innovation, sustainability, and impact in the food business. My name is Dinian Somalia from FoodFutureCo team, and I am your host. Today, we are thrilled to have with us one of the graduates of Food Future Accelerator Program, Cohort 11, the founder of Emkao Foods, Ayissi Nyemba. Welcome to the podcast, Ayissi.
Thank you so much for having me.
And we are so glad to have you as our guest in our pilot episode. So let's start with your background. And can you tell us about Emkao Foods and what led you to start this company?
Yes, absolutely. Emkao Foods means enterprise made for cacao, cacao with a K. The company was incorporated in 2016, and the mission and the vision of starting this company was really to, be a voice for the small cocoa farmers in my village. It was to engage them throughout our supply chain and to make sure that our customers know their names and know what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing. Mm.
Great. And thank you for sharing the mission and vision of Emkao Foods. And to be more specific about it, how do you ensure that your practices align with these values?
Yes, so we are in a direct trade model, which means it's a little bit beyond fair trade. The cocoa beans we are getting are coming from my family plantation. I am a third generation of cacao farmers. So starting this business was also to really make sure that people, our customers, our investors, our community know what is going on at the farm gate level, and that the farmers finally can have decent salaries, can, make a living with this hard work, which is farming cocoa beans. And manufacturing and cutting the middleman was for me to be disruptive in the supply chain. I don't know if I answered the question, but
yeah, for sure. It's really the unique part also of Emkao Foods. And yeah, so can you tell us more about the impact in the community? So you've mentioned that these cacao beans are coming from Cameroon. So let's talk more about that. How does Emkao Foods support the communities in Cameroon where your cocoa is sourced?
We pay them a premium cash directly to the cocoa farmers. We give them training. We want to make sure that they understand what they are growing, the value, and we want to make sure they understand how to meet the international requirements, right? I usually say it's not because you have cocoa beans growing in your farm that somehow you're going to become an expert in cocoa farming. No, it has some rules. It has some steps to follow. So training is something that we offer to the community. And also we make sure that we empower women involvement in agriculture, because I like to tell that story about how the women, they work hard during the harvest season. And then at the end of the harvest season, we have the husband that comes and take all the money, right, from the woman's hard work. So it's important to directly pay the woman and making sure that they can sustain their families by sending their kids to school. So usually the back to school in Cameroon is also in September. So what we do is we buy some furniture, some books, some pencils to the kids, and we donate to those kids. The schools are not in the village. The schools are far from the village. So it's important for them to be ready for the school. And all those aspects, building the roads to have access to the farms. This is real. And now we are actually trying to put electricity in the farm because we still don't have access to water. We have to walk miles and miles. Electricity is an issue. Having access to the farm is an issue. So, every year we have this little target of, okay, we're going to help building this. We're going to help having access to more water closer to the farms. So this is what we're working on yearly basis, pretty much.
Wow, it's really great to hear this kinds of positive impacts that your company is making. Well, aside from this, somehow milestones and bringing these kinds of opportunity to the farmers in Cameroon, especially to the women farmers. Of course, there are some challenges, and can you share some of the biggest challenges that you have faced in building Emkao Foods, and how were you able to overcome these challenges?
Absolutely. So I started the company when I was 25 years old. So it was just challenging to even convince the lenders, the banks, or even the investors. So because they had that assumption that because I'm a woman, and under 30, that I couldn't carry this type of project, right? So it was it was challenging to convince at first, and then still until today, I still don't have the right support that I could have. And then having access to financing is also, it's still challenging. But that, I would say all startups are facing the same raising capital issue. It's not easy, especially in
Mhm.
these times, and especially in food business. How I overcome the challenges, I just went to the community. I ran a crowdfunding campaign. I let the message out, and I knew that even if it wasn't everybody that will, align with my values, align with the mission, I knew at least some will. And that's where my focus was. I just focused on people who wanted to support, who wanted to help, and who wanted to see me succeed. Mhm.
Wow. You've mentioned also that being a Black founder, do you think that a founder who is a woman of color presents challenges or advantages in navigating the business industry?
Absolutely. Yes, because even in cacao, the industry is not ready yet to embrace all the skills. And if I go to chocolate, the flavors coming from Africa. I remember my first time going to the States, I had some raw cacao beans, and every time I was doing my market research by interrogating chocolate makers about if they they potentially had used cacao beans from Africa, the first answer I had was no, we're not interested, because cacao beans from Africa, they have children working in the farms. So you have that assumption already that and that people have on cacao coming from Africa, without knowing that no, these are specific farms. These are specific brands that are using children in the farms. But when you are a craft maker, when you are a smaller company, a startup, when you actually can prove that no, there is no children involved in what you're doing, people were not ready. And I just feel like now we're starting to be a little bit more open. People are curious, and they actually validate the flavors coming from Africa. I did a blind test, just to give you a little story. I did a
Mhm.
blind test with cacao beans coming from Africa and cacao beans coming from South America. And when they tried, everybody was just in love with the flavors coming from Africa, because it was diverse. It has a nutty flavor. It was different. And I think as a chocolatier, or a chocolate maker, you should be open in trying different flavors, because at the end of the day, the consumer, we love different chocolate flavors. We want to have a different experience. So I think it's changing. I hope for the best, but I would say my customers, they are all excited about what I do. And what they have to say actually is that, you know, our products are premium. And that's what we offer. We elevate our customers' experience. We elevate their products. And I'm positive for the future. Let's just say that.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, can you tell us more about the variety of products that you have at Emkao Foods? So, you have the chocolate bars, you
Mhm.
have sugar-free chocolate. Yeah, tell us more about it.
Yes, so it's literally from the raw cacao beans to the cocoa husks. So we have started to launch a new cocoa kombucha, but actually we're running some tests because it might have some alcohol. So it could be a cocoa beer, but literally just made with cocoa husk. And then we have chocolate chips, of course. We have cocoa powder, natural cocoa powder. We have cocoa butter, cocoa paste, and we're going to launch more chocolate bars flavors. So it's, all bean to cocoa ingredients. And like I said, the beans from Cameroon, they are full of flavor. They are really reddish. And again, when you make hot chocolate with it, it's just so creamy, so rich. You really feel like you're drinking chocolate. And that is what I want to offer, a rich chocolate full of flavor.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow. We're so excited to try that. Later on, we will share with our viewers, to our listeners, how they were able to access your products. So, right now, well, as a founder of MCO Foods, you've experienced the Food Future Co Accelerator program, particularly for cohort 11. So, how has the accelerator program contributed to the growth of your business?
I will say in a lot of things. For the future, Co, honestly, you know, I had such an amazing experience because I got my ideas challenged. I got to really rethink about how is that I am approaching things, how I could do better, and what essential tools and people I needed in order for me to scaling up, right? Because at the end of the day, is all about scaling up. They really helped me to better understand my strength and how I could tap into those strengths. And of course, they believed in us because I've never seen an incubator that invests in you, okay? That is ready to promote you in trade shows, that is always promoting your success, cheering for you. And even after the incubator, I'm still receiving so much support, so much love, and so much, if I need help from a mentor, they are available. And this is the type of support of community we need. We need to know that we are not alone in this, and the most important thing, they had businesses, right? So when I talk to a mentor, listen, this is like real feedback. I have done this. I have raised this. This is the challenges I faced. And it helped me to even adjust my strategies. So for me, I think that it was really the incubator as a food business that I had to go through.
Wow, you've mentioned also the mentorship, and Food Future Co has a very strong mentor community. And
Mhm.
can you describe the support from the mentors, and what is your most valuable lessons that you gained from the mentorship that the Food Future Co provided?
Yes. So I will say, you know, it's important that you understand that this is a business, right? And that uh, the mentor, first of all, they are not there to be your friends. They are here to make you understand that these are the steps that you should consider. These are the steps that are important for you to grow. So I will say the more valuable feedback I received was on how I can improve my processes, how I can, even as a founder, what I should think about, right? It's all about how can you do better, how can you improve, and how can you set a better foundation to grow. Um, for me, the mentors, like I said, they had ventures before even starting to be mentors at Food for Future. They had experiences that we can even learn from, and also they have connections outside of the Food Future community. So every time I'm making a step outside, every time I'm trying to pitch to something else, I know exactly who I can contact to even reviewing my pitch or even launching a new crowdfunding campaign. I know which mentor has experienced that. So it was important for me to understand their strength as well and how I could use those strengths to help me with my strategies to grow.
Wow, that's so wonderful to hear. And shout out also to our mentors at Food Future Co for your support and dedication in this program, and your support to our founders at the in each cohort that we have. So, part of the Food Future program is to bring its portfolio companies to trade shows like Food Expo, Fancy Food Show. Recently, Emkao Foods was part of the Food Future Co companies who participated in the Summer Fancy Food Show in New York City. So, tell us more about that experience.
Wow, it was amazing. Listen, when I left New York, I just felt like this was my place to be. I met so much valuable connections. I met so much people that wanted to support me, magazines, journalists, photographers who wanted to support me. And I'm not talking about a service that they were offering. They were in love so much with what I was doing, my mission and supporting the cocoa farmers, that they wanted to feature me. They wanted to take better pictures, better videos in the farm about what is that I'm doing. And then I don't mention the level of customers, right? Because we started as a whole foods business, servicing businesses in raw ingredients and cocoa ingredients, right? So at the food show, actually the businesses that were there, they were actually interested in collaborating with me. So for me, that was initially going to meet more retailers and natural stores, I actually met even more businesses that wanted to purchase from us. So I think it was doubled valuable. We met incredible companies that wanted to support, that wanted to collaborate. So it was an excellent trade show. People were great, well organized, in my opinion. And you know what? I'm just looking forward to the next one because it's such a great place for us to even learn about us, how to present ourselves, how to better present our products, and how to again sharing the mission of what is that we're doing. Mhm.
Wow, it seems like it can really open more opportunities and collaboration for Emkao Foods. And it
Yes.
only affirms that Food Future Co. still provides support or resources even after you graduate in the accelerator program to help sustain your growth. And it's really a long-term partnership with Food Future Co. And based on your experience, would you recommend Food Future Co. to other mission-driven companies as well to become part of the cohort?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, yes, and yes. I will say, you know, we have all those ideas about where we want to see our venture, but until those ideas are challenged, we don't really know. So I will say it's a great place to go. It's a great place to start. And like I said, the mentors are just incredible, right? They will really support you and help you at so many different levels. What I also really appreciate was every time we finished a session, right? They had that little questions about how we feel as business owners, how we feel as an entrepreneur, and we had to rate our levels. How this week, how do you feel? Do you think you are in a good place to talk about even business? Do you what about your family? Are you in a good place? So you have, yes, that business side of things, but they are also humans, they also have families. So I really, for me, that was something that separate Food for Future Co from different incubators, because I felt like they really cared about the people we are. Yeah.
course. At the Food Future Co, it's not just a community, but also a family. And you were right that taking care of each other, and of course, always checking on if how are we going to help one another, because we are in this mission that we have. And it's really good to move forward with a collective, with someone you know that they are there to support you. And looking forward, so for Emkao Foods, what are your long-term goals and aspirations? Can you
Oh,
tell us
yes,
more about that?
absolutely. So we are working on scaling up to the States. So definitely raising capital to open a branch in the States, and that branch will have a storefront. And yes, continuing with our operations in Canada for sure, and yes, growing the farms. I think it's going to be more essential that we organize trips with people for 2 weeks in the farm to really, again, we are still in that first idea of we are a transparent company. We want to make sure that people really see what we do, and when they support, they can actually say, hey, yes, we went to the farm, we saw the farmers, we talked to them, we helped them. So definitely, elevate a little bit the experience with trips and opening the store in the States. We will still focus into wholesale. So at 80%, we will sell to businesses, and then at 20% to retailers. Mhm.
Yeah. So aside from this expansion and the trips, are there any new products or innovation that you are currently working on?
Yes, absolutely. So it's our cocoa kombucha. So it's gonna be ready for the back to school. An amazing, drink made with cocoa husk and fresh fruit. And it's better than a kombucha, honestly. So yes, cocoa kombucha is releasing for September. Yes.
Wow, it sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Um, So, well, you've been in this colorful journey with Emka Foods so far. What has been the most rewarding part amidst all these challenges, these impact stories, helping in the communities? So far, what's the most rewarding part for you?
It was to be able to pay the salaries, yeah, the farmers, a premium cash, every time. So what we do is we get the beans at the end of the harvest seasons in December, right? So every time I'm able to pay more, you know I just feel that what I'm doing is actually meaningful, because without them, there's no Emkao Foods. So for me, making sure that, okay, this year, this is where we're going to focus. We're going to grow more trees. This is the amount of trees we're going to grow. This is the training where we're able to do, and this is how much we were able to pay them. So for me, this is the more rewarding. But also here, right? I do run a manufacturing company, so I empower women involvement in agriculture, in manufacturing. So this is also important. My impact in the community here. We donate to associations. We are bringing students to help us to even work in our marketing strategies. And, at the end of the day, we sell to the future leaders of tomorrow. So bringing those students in company strategies, for me, this is also something that I'm so grateful to be part of. Mhm.
Wow, I can really feel the heart there, and the the fulfillment of helping these people, especially the farmers.
Mhm.
And all of this, how do you balance the demands of running a business with your personal life?
Ooh. Yeah, that's a tough one. So I'm a woman, so we are well balanced. Anyways, we're born manager. That's the joke I always say. So I started the company with my unborn child, right? So he's 8. The company is also 8. So from the very beginning, I understood the importance of balancing my life. So there is a time I'm gonna work. There is a time I'm gonna invest in my family, right? And it's always like that. Now he's a little bit bigger, so now he comes with me at the farmers market. I bring my family in what is that I'm doing. Every time I make a new chocolate bar, he's a tester. And honestly, children, they are the best people to, when you have a product, to make sure it's actually good, give to a child. Of course, if it's
Mhm.
safe for them to consume. And if they love it, honestly, for me, this is the best tester because I have the real feedback. Their feedback is not, how can I say that? It's not based on other flavors or other people's perception. No, it's a yes or
Right.
no type of situation. So, he tests my products since he was a kid. When I had the batch to run, he was there with me. He tried the raw cacao beans. So I actually, because I grew up around cacao farms, and during the summer break, I was actually going to the farm. Of course, I was the cocoa pods, because Cameroon and soccer, it's a love story. So I was playing with the cocoa pods, and for me, seeing and being in the farm as a young age, it was part of me, right? So it was natural for me later on to just say, you know what, I grew up in that. I've seen the struggles of the farmers, so I want to do something different. So this is what I do with my family. I involve them in what I do. They know what I do. And if they want to be part of it, perfect. If they don't, at least they understand what is that mom is doing. And that's how I do things. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you've mentioned that it's really best to have the kids to test the chocolates, and you will really get a genuine review, and
Yes.
they're not gonna lie.
No.
If it's really good, they're gonna say it. If it's bad, they're gonna say it also.
Yes.
All right. So, to those aspiring entrepreneurs out there who are watching and listening to us,
Mhm.
so being a founder of Emkao Foods, who have been into a lot of challenges, and right now you've been looking forward to a lot of new products, innovation, and expansion as well. So, what advice or message that you want to share with them?
I will say it's important for you to start. We always have that feeling or that assumption that in order for you to start a venture, you need to have funding, you need to have team members, you're alone, so you cannot do it. I will say all those things don't matter because at the end of the day, your team, you will meet the right people as you work on your venture. But the first step you have to do is actually to start. And you need to start with very less. You need to make sure that you can actually start without investment. I like to share the story about how I started. I just told to my parents, listen, send me some cocoa beans. I'm going to go, I'm going to do my market research. I'm going to talk to chocolatiers. I'm going to talk to chocolate makers. And that was my very first step. I was very intentional. I was believing in what is that I was doing. I didn't have the right plans until I, of course, joined incubators. But before even joining incubators, I was already in the process of, no, I need to talk to experts in the industry. I need to start building that persona who will purchase from me and who cares about my values, right? So you need to start. And then when you start and you have a better idea on your products, and trust me, the products will grow. And even your best business plan will change because even me, when I started, I had all those products, but then I realized that it actually cost me money to make all those products. So now I'm going to focus on doing less, right? So it will change, but don't be too stressed about the team you have. I came from Montreal, a French-speaking place in Canada, so I didn't speak English. So it's just to tell you that there's a lot of things that don't matter. You can be alone, you can start alone, but as you work on your venture, you will get all the tools you need to actually become that right business person. You will even challenge yourself. You will even better understanding what are your strengths and your weaknesses, and you will get the right people to join your team. And those people can also leave you, but it's okay, because as you work on things, as you grow, as you stay focused, you will still meet the right people. So I will just stay focused on what matters, your products, and who is willing to buy that product. Because at the end of the day, we care about sales. You need to be comfortable selling. Being a founder, if you're not comfortable selling, then yes, get a person who knows how to sell. But for me, you need to know how to sell, because you will be the face, eventually the face, or the person who will build the products. But you need to at least know your strengths and your weaknesses. But don't be too stressed about starting alone, because it's just a start. Mhm.
Wow, that is so meaningful, and also some tips to
Mhm.
our entrepreneurs out there. And
Mhm.
to our listeners, where they can find your products and how they can support Emkao Foods.
Yes, so the website is the best bet. So www.emkaofoods.com. You can also follow us on Instagram. We always share where we're going to be. And we're going to launch a crowdfunding campaign soon. So if you want to support us, support our farmers and our mission to even tip your farmer, really follow us on our social media, join our newsletter. We offer a lot of discount. Next month is our 8th anniversary, so we're going to do 8 days sales, so you can really buy all our products. We have a sample kit where you can have all our products. So yes, the website, and then the newsletter to follow us and what we do. Mhm.
Wow. All right.
Mhm.
So you've mentioned that you have upcoming activities and initiatives. So let us know more about that. So we will also be following your social media accounts for us to be uh know about these details.
Awesome. So I will just mention a little. It's going to be a crowdfunding campaign, and definitely I will share more with you. The launch date, the details about it, it's just still in progress right now. So there is not much I can say or share right now, but definitely follow us on the newsletter. And I will say we are also on Amazon if you want to purchase through Amazon Canada. Yeah. Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great. And finally, we encourage also our listeners to sign up for Food Future Co newsletter and follow us on our social media channels. So thank you so much for joining us today, Ayissi. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. So with that, any last message to our listeners out there?
Yes, thank you so much for listening to us. Thank you so much for supporting the community. We need you. And yes, we are always looking for feedback, even testing our products. It's really important that, you support us, and supporting us is also a like on our posts on what we do. So we need you. Yes, we really need you. And thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much, Ayessi. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. And be sure to subscribe to the Food Future podcast for more inspiring stories and insights from the world of food innovation. So until next time, take care and stay inspired.